Ethics Helpline. For service in English, please press 1. Para servicio en español. To maintain confidentiality, this call is being answered by Global Compliance, an independent third-party provider. This line is available to Walmart associates, customers, and suppliers. Please listen to all options before making your selection. If you are calling for the number to your regional office, please press 1. If you have questions regarding the coaching policy, associate transfer policy, scheduling, or the hiring process, including rehire process, please press 2. If you have questions regarding customer relations or would like to discuss your shopping experience, please press 3. If you have a question or need guidance regarding Walmart's Statement of Ethics or would like to report a violation of Walmart's Statement of Ethics, please press 4. We are here to document your concerns or requests for guidance as they pertain to the Statement of Ethics. We will ask you a series of questions related to the facts surrounding your concern or question. From this interview, we will create an actionable report to be sent promptly to your company for investigation. Calls are not recorded or traced. Please press 1 to be connected with the next available communication specialist.
Thank you for holding. My name is Jen. Would you like to file a new report or follow up on an existing report?
I actually needed to follow up on an existing report, clarify some things.
Okay. Do you have the report number and PIN?
Sure. It is, hold on here, WMT-1702-3247.
Thank you. And the PIN?
9117.
Thank you. Just one moment while I pull up the report.
Sure, no worries, thank you.
Okay. So you had some additional information or clarification to provide?
Well, yes, I was going over my audio of the encounter, or of the conversation with you guys. She had read back and summarized what I was trying to explain, and I think there's a very, very large discrepancy that needs to be clarified. If you go through the report, it starts off with an event last night with regards to a police officer detaining me for not showing a receipt. The way it was worded in there, I don't think it was well clarified that basically while he was detaining me with his police reasonable suspicion, the employees went ahead and went back and did their own live investigation to see if I actually did steal it or pay for it or not. They went back and were looking at video footage, stuff like that. They actually came back and told the officer that I did not pay for it. And I got arrested live right there. Not just simply that the allegations were unfounded. I got arrested and was escorted to the back of the building where I otherwise got the entire citation written. They didn't find any evidence contrary. They were basically following through with what they thought was a normal shoplifting charge. And then only after I was completely and totally let go with my ticket in hand, otherwise being leaving the back room because I'm done with them, they released me. That's when I showed them the receipt that I did pay, and that's when the officer attempted to take my ticket back, basically canceled the whole thing. I tried to report all of this live to a supervisor that I was just wrongfully accused and wrongfully arrested and so forth. Basically, I was trying to report that Walmart had either falsified information to authorities or that the officer didn't get a good enough story of what happened and he just kind of assumed. And so the actual story that I wanted to get into the writing here as to why we feel like we were most likely retaliated against is not just because that he detained me during this investigation with a receipt. It's that the other store employees did a full investigation, completely failed on it. I was issued a citation, and then it dropped. And so they're retaliating against us because we caught them not doing their jobs. Either the police officer, you're not supposed to detain people, or the security guards or employees, they're not supposed to be doing really rushed investigations like that. Basically, they looked at one video, they said, and then came back to me and told me I didn't pay. So full-on arrest for allegedly shoplifting that instantly got dropped after I showed my receipt. But keep in mind, I'm not purposely showing my receipt right away because I want to see if these guys actually were to do a good investigation or not, and they didn't. So I knew beforehand. I have the whole thing taped. My brother and I go through this all the time with other Walmarts, and so no one ever stops us. And so this one was where we fully got stopped and then fully got arrested. I mean, just me because I was there. But I got fully stopped by the police and then fully arrested by the police right there. They didn't put cuffs on me. They walked me to the back of the store. They decided to go the non-custodial route. They didn't arrest me physically, take me to jail, but they did issue me a citation, which is what you call a non-custodial arrest. They ended up ripping the ticket up, basically. So if there's any way you could clarify in there that it wasn't just that I was detained, it's that I was full on arrested with false charges that Walmart had come up with that were unsubstantiated after I let them do their thing, and then I showed them my receipt.
Okay. And now you were being detained by the police officer?
Yes, yeah. So to double clarify, just in case, if you find that the wording isn't as clear as you could in there, the Walmart employee that initially asked for my receipt never told me to stop herself. She just told me, hey, this officer right behind me is asking to talk to you. And so when I refused her request to show a receipt, she didn't actually initiate any sort of policy to go ahead and stop me herself or get the police officer to stop me. She didn't tell the police officer to stop me either. The police officer, just out of the blue, on his own, completely did his own stop. And then while he was detaining me, then they did their investigation. And then they told him that I didn't pay. And then I got charged.
And was that Don?
That is the, let's see here. Don was the, Don Calvano. Yes, I believe so. Yeah, so I feel like a pretty big contention with retaliation. It's not that they did a little investigation and that it was unfounded via the detaining. No, they actually decided that they had enough evidence to go forth with a charge. They arrested me, and then I showed them my receipt.
Okay. And you know which employee it was who completed that investigation?
I never caught any of the employees' names. All I could do is a description of them. There were a couple of them. One was a little heavier set, Hispanic, and then another one was a red-haired gentleman. He's the one that did the video footage lookup and told the officer that I did not pay. And so, yes, ultimately, this is a falsifying information to authorities, something along those lines. They just did a really bad, failed investigation and profiled me and just decided to hope that they had enough to work with. But that was my whole point. That was the sting, is that we've done this before because we know we're not supposed to be stopped. And so we always have our receipts with us. So, but yeah, we were fully detained, which you're not supposed to detain for receipts. And then we were fully arrested, which you're not supposed to arrest just off of lack of evidence. And then the next day we were fully retaliated against and banned, told to leave by non-store employees. So hopefully you can write that down and then summarize. Take your time, type it all out. Thank you. You guys are really good at this. And just let me know how it all words here, worded out before I let you go.
Okay. And then after you showed Don the receipt, he did tear up the citation?
He asked for the citation back, and he actually attempted to detain me again. And that's when I said, no, I think I can keep it for my records. And he said that he would just cancel his side of the ticket. But yeah, that's where, as one can imagine, the retaliation is coming from. I caught them all not doing their jobs. Cops aren't supposed to be detaining people. They're not supposed to be doing live investigations while someone's being detained. And obviously that's probably why they didn't do a very good investigation. So I don't like to be the stickler or whatever, but like, We've done this too many times with other Walmarts. They never stop us. And we've basically been building cases against police with all of our other cases. We have like 30 of these cases we've already won. And so it was only a matter of time before a police officer fell for this same trap. And he fully arrested us off of bad information. He was supposed to do a better investigation. Or they were supposed to.
Okay, so what I've noted here is that William clarified that while he was detained by Don, an employee completed an investigation of the surveillance footage. The employee reported to Don that William had stolen merchandise. Don arrested William and walked him to the back of the store and issued him a citation. After Don issued William the citation, William showed Don his receipt for the merchandise he was accused of stealing. Don then asked William to give Don the citation back and attempted to detain William again. William said he wanted to keep his copy of the citation, and Don said he would cancel his copy of the citation.
Yes. Yep. And really quickly there, just to throw this in for extra juice, I let them see the receipt, and they spent a good 30, 45 seconds, up to a minute, examining the receipt while I repetitively asked them for it back. And I told them I did not feel like I was free to leave until I got that receipt back. And they said, hey, hold on. We're just doing, we're trying to do our job and stuff. And that's when I said, you guys have everything you need, probably with your video cam footage and your, registers, that you don't need me anymore. And that's when they finally did give me the receipt back. But they were fighting to keep it for a lengthy amount of time. I only showed them in good faith. I didn't think they were going to hold it and not give it back to me. So, putting that in there. Multiple detainments over multiple failed investigations. The entire thing went backwards. So.
I did add that, so I've got Don then asked William to give Don the citation back and attempted to detain William again. Don spent some time examining the receipt, and William asked for the receipt back several times before it was returned to him.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how you guys do it, but you make so much more sense than us.
Well, I'm glad we were able to get that documented. So if that's correct, we'll get this added into the report for you.
Thank you very much. We're pro se attorneys. We don't want to have to do these things. And if it's not criminal statutable violations, it's policy violations. It's all the same thing. People are not following their rules. And I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys can send this on up to the right chains so some attorneys can look at it. Keep in mind, if you can maybe put this down, give this call maybe just a little extra attention. This has been a policy issue for a very long time with Walmart. We, like I said in there, the audios, we have other Walmarts. Over time, no one has actually ever stopped us for an investigation. One employee actually did stop us physically, but then she let us go right away. But then this is the first time where the entire policy was not followed. Full detainment for not showing a receipt. And so I think it's a critical matter that while you guys may have education on your side with regards to your employees, the police officers of whoever may be patrolling those same locations, they don't know the same policies themselves. And so Don stopped me on a policy violation that doesn't create any sort of suspicion on any sort of statutable violation. When you don't show a receipt, we're told that doesn't create suspicion for theft because it's just their own asking. It's an easy way to ask so that you can start your little investigation backwards, go look at the video cam footage and stuff like that. You just can't go look at your video cam footage while you're holding the guy who didn't show you the receipt. So it's a very, very big critical issue. I think that either the policy itself needs to change or there needs to be massive amounts of education across the board with whoever happens to be in that position to ask or be nearby, like a police officer. So thank you very much for that, reporting that too.
All right, you're welcome. So I did add in that William has experienced employees violating the policy regarding checking receipts, but this is the first time he has been fully detained and arrested for not showing his receipt.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly right. Wow. Again, I don't know how you guys do it, but thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome, sir. We'll get this added in right away for you.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks. Bye bye.